We're keeping today kind of chill. It has been a roller coaster in our personal lives. We're dealing with all types of stuff. So we're going to try and have some fun today. We are going to talk about the earthquakes that have been going on. We're going to talk about MGK and Megan Fox, and we're going to talk about Joe Gatto a little bit. There's been a couple things going on with all of that.
Real quick, I have to comment on your shirt. So, I need to know your best dad joke. Spit it.
Uh, my best dad joke. You're putting me on the spot.
All right, think about it and get back to me.
All right. I've got them, but it's all situational. You know what I mean? Like you got to be in the moment. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can come up with a couple because I got some good ones. All right. So first off, earthquakes. What the heck is going on, man? So I Myanmar is the name. It's right by Thailand. So Myanmar, Thailand, and Bangkok all got hit. That whole region got hit with a giant earthquake. So in Myanmar in particular, there is a 7.7 magnitude earthquake that hit. If you don't know the Richter scale and how all that stuff works, it was a big fucking earthquake. Like it was really, really serious. And so there have been efforts for the last few days basically trying to save people, find people that were lost, all types of stuff. Ricky just mentioned the pool videos. So there is a video of a pool at the top of a really big hotel that it was a rooftop pool that broke basically, and then the water was like flooding off the pool. There was another one that we actually just watched a little bit ago of a guy just holding on for dear life on another rooftop pool while the waves are just like back and forth.
I
uh
don't know how that guy held his composure. I would have been right off the side of that building.
Nah, dude, you holding on for dear life, just trying to survive. It's funny too because I was watching one of those, and the dude's holding on to the side of the pool, and some chick is just filming him, completely calm, like nothing is going on, and it's just like, how are you not freaking out? I'd be tripping, homie. I would
I would have
need to
been
get out.
flipping.
Dude, I don't know, man. There have been, I've seen all types of different numbers on the actual, how many people have gone. I think we are at 1,700. I think. I'm not completely sure. I did see one that said like 10,000 or something like that, but I don't think that's real. But even 1,700 with how structurally sound buildings are now, that's pretty freaking intense, dude.
That is. You know, I don't think that if something like that happened, I would have the reflexes to react so quickly. Because in situations like that, I freeze. I pause. I freeze. It's like a trauma response for me.
Okay, so when your fight or flight kind of reacts, you just don't do anything. That's your move. That's
Yep.
just good, homie. You got to have survival skills.
But it happened to me because of a traumatic event. And it's like when something happens with one of my kids, I will pause before I'll jump right in. Like there's a moment, maybe in my head, I feel like I'm pausing because I'm making the moves, but I feel like everything's in slow motion.
You got to assess things first, kind of, which I guess that's not a bad thing if that's what's going on, where you're seeing your surroundings and trying to figure out what the best move is. That's not a bad thing, but you can't do that if you're in a panic. You know what I mean? You have to be calm and collected. That's like whenever we had the house fire and stuff. I don't know. I just handled it while Shan is out there like hyperventilating and shit, and it's just like, okay, let's get you outside. But I've been in enough weird situations. I guess the adrenaline starts pumping, and I instantly try and figure out, okay, what do I need to do to make sure everybody's safe? in an earthquake, it's hard. You have to, you want to try and get low to the ground. I mean, all these people on high rises and all types of stuff, that's freaking scary because if that building goes, it's game over. I mean, you're just done. It's good to have, we have so few earthquakes here. I think you're supposed to get like under some stairs or something. You're supposed to have something above your head or in a doorway or whatever. I don't know. That is one that I have never experienced. I've we get a couple out here every once in a while, but it's like you can barely feel it.
I, I don't know what I would do if I was surrounded. First of all, if I was up in the air like that, I already have a fear of heights, number one.
Sure. Sure.
So then to think that I could be shook to the ground or something, I don't know what I would do.
What is, it's just crazy though, because what is up with all these natural disasters? Like,
Right.
it is like it's end times. We had crazy tornadoes this year. We had, well, the earthquakes are apparently starting. We have, over the past 3 years, had hurricanes just back to back to back, hitting hard. Um, yeah, dude, it's just, it's like everything is kind of falling apart. It's wild.
Right. All these natural disasters, even like in areas like North Carolina, where they never expect it for something like you can't be prepared for those situations.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in South Carolina, I think is getting hit by wildfires like crazy right now. So it's just, I don't know, dude. It's wild. I think the biggest thing I have to worry about out here is tornadoes, but we're in kind of a weird spot. Like we're almost in a bowl or something. Where like, whenever we do have tornadoes kind of come near us, it almost jumps us and then goes to the next town, which is kind of great.
That is super scary. I don't know, honestly, how I would handle something like that. It's too much. Like, especially when you have other people that you have to be mindful to make sure they're safe, like your children. Like, if
Yeah.
you were in an elevated area like that in one of those high rises and something happened, what would you do to make sure that your kids were safe in that moment, that they all stayed with you? Do you just grab them and huddle?
Yeah, you have to. Because the whole reason he
Right.
stayed in the pool is because you saw those waves. If you let go of the side, you're going flying with all that water, and that could kick you off or throw you into something really heavy, and that could knock you out or something. You almost have to just grab onto the side, huddle with the kids or whoever, and just wait it out. There's nothing you can do.
My prayers are with all of those people, though, because honestly, that's devastating. And the amount of like steel and stuff like that that was falling around these people,
Yep.
that's another thing. Like, you get hit in the head with something like that,
It's over.
right?
There's
You're
no
done,
head left. Like, yeah, you're just done. Yeah,
right?
dude, I don't know. I and I don't know how common earthquakes and all this stuff is out there. So maybe this is something that happens pretty often. And maybe they're a little bit more prepared. Maybe the buildings are designed so that they're more resistant to earthquakes. Because I didn't see anything like where a lot of big buildings actually went down. You know what I mean?
I
It was a lot of
do,
small
I
places.
do think that they're more common out there. And I also think that because they're more common out there, they have different like building codes.
Right.
Like for, you know, putting up high rise buildings like that, that they have to have or withstand a certain type of earthquake or natural catastrophe, something.
Whenever you start talking 7.7 on the Richter, that is a hell of a earthquake, dude.
Right.
Like that is intense. I don't know. I feel like we had a bigger one probably like within the last 5 years, and I can't think of where it was, but I think we had one get up to 8 if I'm remembering correctly. But like 7.7 is up there. You do not see that. So I don't know, dude. That's just super freaking scary. I never want to be in a place with earthquakes like that because there's so many variables and there's so little you can do.
And then, am I incorrect or correct on this? After an earthquake, that's when tidal waves and or tsunamis can happen, right?
I'm pretty sure because you end up getting the fault lines collide, right? And that's one of the reasons that you have an earthquake. So the fault lines collide. A lot of those fault lines are lower. So I guess if the fault lines hit in an area where it was like right next to land or something, then you end up getting a big wave. That's how I don't know. I know a little bit about that stuff, but not enough to really throw things out there. But yeah, I think you're right. I know you do have to be kind of worried about aftershocks and all types of stuff because the earthquakes happens, everything's shaking, going crazy. You get smaller earthquakes afterwards, but then like everything's adjusting back again, and sometimes that's whenever you actually have stuff fall. So,
Right.
all right, so MGK and Megan Fox. They are, I'm sure everyone's seen it. They have been in an on again, off again relationship for what, the past like 3, 4 years now.
I think
Uh,
5 years, something like that.
it's been a while. So when MGK and Megan got together, it was like one of those love stories, right? Like true love. They're perfect for each other. He started writing all types of songs about her. It was kind of like, oh, that's so cute. And then MGK and Megan started changing, I guess, if that's the way you want to put it, where they started kind of getting all dark and they, always wearing black. And MGK really got big on the like tatting himself all over. He already had a lot of tats, but then he did like the blackout tats and everything like that. Um,
They were also drinking each other's bodily fluids. I don't.
yeah, they were into some weird stuff, but at the same time, Megan is very big into like crystals and energy and all that stuff, and kind of pulled the MGK into that too. So they're in this relationship. They have both had like past traumas that have kind of, are causing struggles. So they ended up going on and off. Now they announced, well, like 9 months ago, whatever. It was probably like 5 months ago that they actually announced it, but they were having a baby. Baby is now here. Like, yeah, the baby's here. And they have talked about co parenting.
It's her fourth child. She has three children
Mhm.
with Brian Austin Green previously.
Yes. And they're apparently, from everything you can kind of see online, they're cordial. They're being amicable about everything and trying to work together for the best betterment of the child. But I feel like they're both very broken. And it's kind of crazy too because if you followed MGK at all in his music, he went through like this dark patch almost during COVID, and then he found Megan. It kind of brightened up. He went through that punk rock phase and all that stuff.
Which honestly, I'm a woman and I think she's drop dead gorgeous. Like she is drop dead gorgeous.
I don't know. I mean, she's pretty still.
I think she's beautiful.
She's pretty still, but if we're talking like Transformer days, Megan Fox, everybody had a crush on her.
She's still beautiful. She's still got it going on.
Oh yeah, she still looks good. Every single dude had a crush on her.
Right.
And everybody thinks MGK is attractive. I mean, he's tall, I guess. I don't know. Is he attractive? Do you find him attractive?
He got like that like dark edgy vibe. I kind of think he's hot.
Okay, so good looking dude. And I guess so all this is happening and you mentioned it whenever we started talking about this, trying to go over topics. So Megan got on a podcast and started talking about like narcissism and what's going on there. What exactly did she say?
because I follow a lot of that topic very closely myself.
Sure.
I happened to come across a podcast clip actually on Friday of her just saying, like, when that flip switches, it's hard to ever look at that person differently. So apparently, she found something on his phone. They never disclosed exactly what it was,
Right.
but it was something that altered the way that she felt about him. When you look at someone differently, you can't unsee that once you see it, type of shit.
I'm still trying to decide what it was. And we talked about maybe it was signs that he was like cheating or something. I actually kind of wonder if it was lyrics. Like, I mean, he's does music obviously. No, hold on. Cuz if he has written a lot of songs about
Okay.
Megan. Like, I mean, he just did Lonely Road and the whole thing was talking about, their baby and her having the miscarriage and all that stuff back in the day. But I wonder if he wrote a song for her that he was never like gonna release and it was really dark or there was something in it that he exposed something about himself in it that she didn't expect and it kind of threw her off.
Women really internalize things when it comes to
Mhm.
like finding something on someone's phone that you don't expect to see. I've been
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
And once you see something like that, you will never, ever, ever look at that person the same. You will never love them the same. Something shifts
I
within
agree.
yourself.
Now if something like that happens and maybe you break up with the person, whatever, you confront them and the person fixes it or tries to, does their best. Do you think it can be made right regardless, maybe not regardless of what it is, but in a lot of situations, do you think it
Yes,
can be made right? Okay.
yes. Because if someone really loves you, they'll put in the work necessary to make those changes to not see you move on with someone else.
And do you think that it could ever get back to how it was, or do you think that's always there, no matter what, even with the work?
Well, I've tried that for years and it can kind of go back to the way it was. But as a woman, we don't forget. We might forgive at certain points, but we'll never forget.
If I was to find something on Shan's phone and found out, like, okay, she's cheating or whatever, I I don't know. Like, I would probably confront her and we could possibly fix it. But at the same time, I wonder if, um, I wonder if I would need like the extra time. I feel like I would get insecure. That's the biggest thing that I worry about. And maybe it would go back to the way things were. But it's like guys always have that thought in their head, but they won't say anything if something has happened in the past. You know what I mean? But
I think that if you really truly love someone, that anyone's capable of change. If I could change my ways and myself, or even like recovery wise or healing wise, everyone's capable to put in that same work. But is that other person willing to do the work or no?
well,
Not a lot of times are they really willing to put in the work
and
because you know what it is? They'll just pick the next easier option, somebody that's gonna accept a broken person because
yep.
they vibrate at a lower level. And there ain't nothing that's gonna tell me differently.
No, no, and I agree. And it sucks because it's like, well, why did you do that in the first place? If you really loved me and everything was all good, yes, maybe you were struggling with something, you had a lapse in judgment one time or whatever. Okay. But why did it get there? What
Right.
caused us to get to that point in the first place? And I think a lot of times that's kind of what you have to figure out to fix that type of thing because otherwise it's just going to happen again.
Right. And when the same patterns keep happening over and over and over again, you better just get out because you're just wasting your youth and your time.
And it's just hard because it's just like, especially if you've been with somebody for a long time and you find
And you have
something
a
like
trauma
that.
bond or you have kids with them.
Yeah, kids with them. It doesn't even have to be about trauma or anything. Literally, the fact you are so comfortable with that person because it's what you've known for so long that it's like I don't want to put in the work to find something else. So then you end up being complacent. Neither of you is happy. If you have kids, the kids see that and they know something is wrong, and it's like you just waste all that time. You almost have to do the work no matter what. Otherwise, it's like you're literally just wasting away, wasting your life.
And Ashley, you're right. If you have a strong relationship, it shouldn't happen.
And relationships change.
I
I
agree.
mean, you can have a strong relationship with someone and it stay consistently strong, but there's still ebbs and flows to it. You know, someone gets a new job and gets really busy. A medical issue happens and you aren't able to give that attention for a longer term of time. I mean, things happen. It just that is one the person that like the hardship isn't happening to kind of has to accept that things could be different for a little while, and if you love someone they usually will. And the person that is going through something, you always have to try and think of that other person to some extent, regardless what it is. Figure out what you can do to switch things up to keep things going stably. But yeah, no, it's tough. And with their situation, obviously the fact that they're having a baby, they're trying, at least they're working hard to try and make sure that because MGK has been through this with his ex, you know, and he has a great relationship with his daughter. So I'm guessing that's kind of where they want to go. They want to make sure that it stays that nice, healthy relationship. But it's hard. And you need both people to be on the same page because if even one person is not,
Right.
you're screwed. So yeah, it's tough. I feel bad for them. I hope they can both figure it out. As much flack as MGK gets, I do like some of his music, and I also kind of think I don't know, from what everybody says, like all the Jelly Roll and all the other people that he kind of mingles with, everybody says he's like the nicest dude. Now, behind closed doors, I'm sure things are different to some degree, but I don't think he's like a bad guy.
And a lot of times fame and having like the public eye constantly critiquing and criticizing every single thing you do
Yep.
can cause those issues. You got the fangirls that are probably throwing themselves at him. You know, it comes with the territory. His girl's hot. She's got dudes probably all up in her inbox and
And I wonder, because their whole relationship, it was just like Travis Barker and Courtney. The like they were all friends, all four of them, and you start looking at the tabloids and all the headlines and everything, and everybody's judging them and talking shit on them and being how weird they are and all types of stuff. Were they a little weird? Sure, but they were in love. Fuck them. Like fuck all the headlines. Who cares? But I wonder how much that stuff kind of got to them because now they are finally happy with themselves, but in the public eye, they're having to be more insecure. That would take its toll for sure.
right.
So yeah, no, we wanted to touch on that. There's not a ton that's really been updated or like a ton of new news about it or anything, but it's something to watch. I'm curious if it's going to be a train wreck or if it's going to kind of balance out.
I really hope and pray for the baby's sake that they can have a healthy co parenting relationship because
Sure.
it's important,
Yeah.
as we both know.
Yeah, 1,000%. And in seeing how much MGK cares about his daughter and how he like treats his kids, at least from what we've seen, I could see him doing whatever it takes to work it out because he is all about his daughter, and I feel like he'll be the same way with the baby. So no, for sure. The next thing, Joe Gatto has passed away. If you didn't know, the Impractical Joker star has gone. He's unalived, or so we thought. So
Right.
so there has been a like I don't know crazy amount of TikTok traffic about how Joe Gatto has passed. Marie hopped on TikTok while we were talking and mentioned it, and I was just like, "That sounds crazy." I feel like I would have saw something about that. So we started digging, and you go online, you go on Google. There's no headlines about it. There's a Reddit forum about it, and that's about it. And then you go on TikTok, and it's just nonstop clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. All everyone saying that he's gone.
Viral video
Yeah,
after viral video saying that this man has now passed on. And it's the trending, one of the number one trending search things on TikTok right now. But when you go on Google, it says that he put himself into treatment 3 days ago.
there's another problem because there is a recent headline of a Joseph Gatto who was like 78 years old. That person unalive. That person was hit with a pew pew a couple of times and unalived. So I see where maybe someone could have seen that and misconstrued it. Now, whenever I started, right,
I bet you somebody saw it, put out a video, it went viral,
yep.
and then Tom, Dick, and Harry tried to jump on the, oh, let me make a viral video about breaking the news that's not even accurate information.
So
Do your research. Do your research.
1,000%. So I started going through the comments, and I didn't have enough time to figure out how much was true. But from what I saw, the person who made the original video uh, admitted that she lied about it, and like people were condemning her and all this stuff. So maybe this person just did it for attention. I saw a lot of people going on saying that he had passed away, and that's the headline. But then they're like, but he didn't really pass away, but this is what's going on with him. So they're using it as clickbait to get you in the video to talk about the essay allegations and all that. And honestly, even with clickbait, I understand the purpose of clickbait. You have to do it, especially these days, to get people's attention. But you don't have to blatantly lie in your clickbait. You have to make it somewhat true and just make it eye catching. So I don't really respect what a lot of people are doing on here because there are a couple people in particular that have like 20 videos about it, and that's the headline in all of them. And it could cause problems. Like, what if one of his kids saw that and flipped out and tried calling their dad, and their dad didn't answer, and it's like a nightmare. I just don't think it's right. It's really weird how much false information and bullshit blows up on here.
It is true. You always have to do your research on looking at different, you know, creators and if they are putting out accurate facts about anything.
We do the best we can to try and be as accurate as possible and to give truthful information, or start getting into our opinion or something. um, yeah, just because we want to actually be a good source of even bullshit like this. It's celebrity news and stuff. Some people care, but most people it's just like whatever. But even stuff like this, we want to make sure that you have as much actual information as possible. So we always try, like if we say something wrong, we try and fix it and stuff. But Yeah, it's just sad. It's all misleading and screwing everybody over and like never thinking about the people involved. And shoot, like I said, maybe that's what happened with MGK and Megan with their relationship. Like people started getting in, started poking their nose in other people's business just because they're public figures, and that could have ruined them.
Right.
I have the worst itch in my nose. It's driving me crazy. But yeah, we weren't sure exactly how long the kids were gonna last today, so we didn't go too crazy. We're actually gonna play a couple games just because, yeah, we didn't know if we were even gonna make it this long. So
My hands are not shaking anymore, so we're good.
that's good. You doing all right? You think they're calmed down?
I hear them calm down now.
Okay, all right, cool. So there are a couple of podcast games that we wanted to play real quick just for fun. We're probably going to keep this one kind of short. I can't think of the names of the games to save my life, but one of them, so it's basically I am thinking of a word, and Marie has to try and like guess what it is or what my thing is, and I will give her like a ranking from 1 to 100 on how close she is, and she'll try and get it. So, I gotta figure out my word. I didn't come prepared. I got it. I think I got you. All right, what's your guess?
Joke.
Joke? No, no, not at all. That's like a two.
You want to give me like a direction to go?
No, you'll get it. I gotta make it hard for her. We were
I
playing.
don't know why the word like relationship just popped into my head.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you like a 20 on that. It's a little bit closer, but not really there.
Hmm.
Think it's a big thing. Marie was worried that she wasn't gonna be able to play the game. She was gonna struggle with it.
A truck.
Oh, they got it. So truck, we got comments coming in for it too. So a truck, I'm gonna say like I'll give that like a 45. Babies, that's like a 10.
Airplane.
Airplane, I'm gonna give that a little closer. I'm gonna say 50 on that. Ricky said scandal. That's like a 3.
So if airplane's the closest that I got,
Airplane's the
and it's
closest you got.
big, guys, I need help. I haven't had enough caffeine yet today. I need some help.
We got Denise with Trip. So okay. Trip. I'm gonna give that a 70. Natural disasters, I'm gonna give that a 75.
Ooh.
So you got airplane was getting there, Trip.
Earthquake.
Uh I'm gonna keep that at 75.
Stop.
Tsunami. Ricky said tsunami. I'm gonna have to give that an 80.
Tidal wave.
82. So
Mm.
think about it. It's something big. You know it's ocean related. Trip was a good clue. Flood. I'm gonna send that back down to 70.
But would it have to do with an airplane, though?
Not necessarily anything with an airplane, but that is a mode of transportation that is very similar. That kind of has to do with
A yacht. A yacht.
Okay, we're getting closer.
A
And
submarine.
we've got yacht, submarine, and shipwreck. I'm gonna put all of those. Actually, shipwreck is at like 95. The rest is
Good
at.
job, Denise. Thank you for the help.
Brandy said cruise ship. That is gonna be a 98.
Wow, okay.
Shipwreck and cruise ship right there. It's you got this. It's right there.
Cruise ship.
Titanic is 99. Like that is it. That's right. That's so close. So dang close.
Titanic is so close.
Titanic
Um,
is right there.
like Carnival Cruise?
No, you're going back down. I thought somebody in the comments was gonna have it.
Come on, Brandy, you're right on the money. Recovery Queen, you're right on the money.
Remember
Denise.
tsunami and tidal wave and all that was close too. So just merge those babies. Ricky, damn. Honestly, I gotta give Volcano like a 90 because you're kind of there, but
Oh, I'm not going to let Kyle defeat me. I will not.
Titanic and Volcano, come on. Think about Titanic related to
An iceberg.
iceberg. She got it. Yep.
Yes. Oh
Okay.
my God.
You see? It's not too bad. You got it. You got it. We were getting to eruption and stuff. I was like, oh, we're going to start going back down. All right. You want to have a round?
I might even forget the word that I'm thinking.
Don't forget the word. Don't forget the word. It can be anything.
Okay. I got my word.
You got it? Okay. Toothbrush.
That would be like very low.
Like 2s and 5-ish, maybe?
I would say like a 2.
Okay, okay. Refrigerator.
No. I would say like a 10.
Ricky said toxic. No? TST said TV, bed.
Oh, sweet treats. You're very close.
So what? Give us the numbers. So where's like TV, bed, computer? What are
Girl, computer.
So what is it? It was computer. Oh, come
you
on.
said it. Well, the word computer is very heavily on my mind.
Yeah,
because
I know.
This morning.
I know. I thought about that, but I wanted. You said you were looking around the room, so I was like, okay, it's got to be something in there. All right, so that was fun. You want to try the game where we have to say the same word? That was the one Marie was afraid of. She was like,
Yeah, you lead. My brain just doesn't think so quick with this stuff.
okay, so what this game is, I'm sure you guys have seen it. And we gotta kind of be I guess okay with this because TikTok is weird. It might cut out some of our voices, so if we have to repeat something, that's fine. But we both have to say a word at the same time, and we are trying to get to the point where we both say the same word. And we kind of like, if we said red and bird, then maybe we would both say cardinal. And hopefully we can say the same word at the same time. All right. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Cookie.
Cat.
Cookie and cat. Oh gosh. I can't. I'm not. Cookie and cat. All right. Do you have anything? Are you thinking of something? Like I think I got something. Okay. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Cookie Monster.
Catnip.
Catnip. Catnip and cook. No. See, we're getting too far apart now. All right. Catnip. Cookie Monster. And you can't say the same word that's been said. It's got to be like spin off or something else. I don't know. Catnip and Cookie Monster. I don't know. Our brains aren't syncing right now, homie.
Right.
All right, I think I got mine. You got one? You got anything?
That has to do with those 2 words?
Yeah.
Cookie Monster and cat?
Or what do you think those 2 words would make me say? That's what we're trying to come up with. You got one? Okay, I'll do the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Elmo.
Catnip.
We ain't never gonna get there.
Right. This is why I kept saying
Catnip and Elmo. Bro, that's the one. We got this. No, I have it. I have it right now. Th- Work with me here. Come on, come on.
Got
We
you.
on the same page. Catnip. Think about what catnip is, and we got Elmo. Where he at? Okay, catnip and Elmo. You with me? Are you
I
sure?
think
You don't look very sure. One, two, three. Streets.
Sesame Street.
It was kind of close. C Street. Okay, C Katie's. Man, do we? All right, you guys got to tell me. Do we win that one? Sesame Street and the streets are very different. I was thinking the streets, like catnip's like a drug, and call it a win. Okay, I say that's the closest we're getting.
Yo, that's the closest that we're going to be syncing with each other mentally right now.
I can't even think anymore. My teeth are still. I haven't been taking the antibiotics for like. Well, I'm out, but I haven't been taking them for a week now, and I'm just like praying something doesn't come back.
How are you feeling? Do
Like
you
crap.
feel?
It's
What
not
did the
right.
dentist ever say?
Nothing.
You
So this is why I have my fear of the dentist because it's like I told them I'm terrified. They were very good while I was there, but after I left, one, you didn't call in the prescription for the anxiety medicine that you said you were going to send in, which we've got a little bit of time, so that's not that big of a deal. I called telling you like I have extreme pressure going through my head and it's really really bad. You never called me back. And then I told him while I was there, I can tell I have an infection. So do I need antibiotics? And they said no. And it was just like you aren't building my confidence. You're really making me feel like I am making a mistake.
I feel like a lot of times people don't understand that when you have medical trauma, especially dental trauma, it will literally keep you out of the dentist for years, like what happened to you.
Yeah. I'm ready to spend money, homie. I am ready. I'm gonna need multiple procedures and everything. So it's like if you do a good job and you show me you've got this, I'm gonna be going to you, obviously, and you're gonna
Right.
be doing my entire mouth. So don't you want that business? Like that's what gets me. I just don't want to go somewhere else and like have to do the consult again.
Were they willing to give you gas?
They're gassing me, so I'll be completely out when they do the extraction. But even for the cleaning, they're gonna give me that anxiety medicine. So like, hopefully, I won't even know where I'm at. I'll be in fairyland or some nonsense, and they'll just be going away at my teeth.
Well, that's good because when I had my teeth done, I didn't get no laughing gas. I didn't get no pain meds. I didn't get no ibuprofen. I didn't get no Tylenol. It was you did this to yourself, so deal with it.
Whenever I talked to the dentist, like the actual dentist, whenever we were in there, so we're going over my medical history and like my prescriptions and all of that. And I told him that I felt like the subs were what did this to my teeth and why they got so bad. And he was like, "Yeah, I've seen that before." And he was really cool. He asked, how long have you been off the subs? How long you been sober? All that stuff. And I told him, he gave me a little fist bump. And then when he talked about the anxiety meds and giving me that beforehand, he was trying to respectfully ask, like, hey, I want to give you this. It's not going to affect you in your sobriety or anything like that. And I was honest with him. I told him, no, honestly, it really doesn't matter. Like, even if it was pain pills, I feel like I would be okay at this point.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know, homie. All right, guys. I think we're gonna cut it at that. Thank you for allowing us to have a little bit of
Wait,
fun on
you're
here.
not cutting it without telling the dad joke that I need a
Oh,
dad
damn.
joke.
Okay, okay. Wait, why am I blanking? I've got so many up there. We do dad jokes every freaking night. Man, I got a decent knock knock joke that Carson likes, but it's really
Okay,
hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Okay, okay. Knock knock.
who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock knock.
Do I need to get my kids in the room for this?
No, do it one more time.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana again?
Yeah, actually, I am, because I was just going to call the troops up to help me.
That's where it gets hard though, because you do the repetition and people get confused. That's Carson's favorite joke. That's been her favorite joke since she was like 3. Yeah, you got
Well,
anything?
guys, thank you all for joining. Thank you for the gifts, all the love today. We
Yo,
genuinely appreciate it.
love you guys.